This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, and especially at the moment, I do hope you're well. Now, I may have mentioned in videos and live streams and stuff that I'm not really a big fan of loads of pedals. I don't have a problem with pedals, it's just that I've never really found the need to have a big pedal board full of different effects and stuff. It's never been me, really. I just like a nice clean sound, a nice crunchy overdrive sound, and a big fat sustainy lead sound. Give me those three tones and, you know, I'm a happy lad, simple tastes and all of that. But one pedal I do have very fond memories of was the much sought after these days Ibanez TS808 Tube Screamer. I had one of these in the early 90s and I used to throw it into the front end of this amp, the Marshall Valve State 8080, that was my main gigging amp for about 2 or 3 years. It had a nice enough crunchy overdrive sound on it, and it just, you know, it needed that little bit of extra grunt for the big fat soloing sound. And, you know, I managed to pick up a TS808 for literally nothing. I think I didn't pay anything for it. I just swapped it for something. See, in those days, it wasn't that sought after. This was the early 90s, and, you know, everybody was still in love with the idea of a big rack full of twinkling effects units, you know, the kind of rack effects kind of thing with loads of flashing LEDs and stuff. That was how the cool boys and girls got their good guitar sounds back in those days. So, yeah, the Tube Screamer straight into the front of the Marshall predictably sounded absolutely epic. And recently, I've been using the Blue Cat free amp simulator, which has an absolutely killer Marshall tone on it. The classic drive sound, it's really like a good grunty sounding Marshall. And once again, there's that thing of maybe I could just do with something else just to tip it over the edge into a big sustainy lead sound. So imagine my delight when I found out that a company called Mercurial were doing a VST TS808 Tube Screamer simulation, and it's free. So I thought, well, it'd be churlish and rude not to try it, really, wouldn't it? So just in case you're new to this kind of thing, here's how you'd set that kind of signal chain up in Reaper or any other DAW. Okay, so here we are in Reaper, and just in case you're not familiar with how to do this, there's the track that I'm going to record the guitar onto, and I go into the effects button for that track, and the first thing I need is an amplifier, so I'm going to use the Blue Cat free amp. There it is, and I'm quite fond of the factory preset classic drive, and I use that for the rhythm guitar sound that you're going to hear. And next thing I need to do is add the Tube Screamer. There it is. That's what it looks like. And obviously in the signal path, I want the Tube Screamer before the amplifier. You know, you put your pedal in between the guitar and the amplifier. So that needs to come first in the signal chain. So I just drag it and drop it up like that. Then my preferred sound is to leave everything stock, but just have the drive about 50%, about 12 o'clock, like that. And that gives me a rather nice lead sound boost, as you are going to hear very shortly. So that's pretty easy to do, isn't it? And I guess what we need to do now is hear what the Blue Cat classic drive, the sort of Marshall simulation, sounds like in an unadorned fashion, you know, before we put the Tube Screamer on. Here's a little rhythm guitar part that I recorded using that setting, and I should also mention here that I'm also using a Red Wires impulse response, just to give the sound a little bit more air. It sounds like this. Then, using those exact same settings on the Blue Cat free amp, I'm going to throw the TS808 simulator in front of it just to give the sound a bit of a boost for some soloing. And that sounds like this. And that does a pretty good job of it, doesn't it really? That is definitely very close, if not exactly the same as the sound that I remember from my old Valve State Plus pedal days back in the early 90s. It's definitely got that recognisable Tube Screamer kind of bite to it that is what makes that pedal such a classic. I should also mention as well that I always say all of the tabs and everything for these little solos and stuff that I do in these videos go up on my Patreon page. This one is no exception. I'm going to be beavering away in Guitar Pro like a man possessed for the rest of the day, getting that tabbed out and getting it up there for you, along with that short little jam track as well. So I've put a link in the description to where you can download this pedal simulator, and it really is, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. You might as well just grab it. It's free and it sounds absolutely epic. In fact, that combination there of the classic drive on the Blue Cat free amp with that pedal in front of it, that is now officially my new go-to lead guitar sound. It sounds absolutely great, and that's what I'm going to be using. So there you go, folks. That's it for today. I will also just mention that if you're thinking about buying a rather wonderful Fret Zealot tuition device, and you're a bit on the fence about it and you're not sure whether to pull the trigger, then use the discount code you can see on the screen there. It's also in the description box along with the purchase link that's down there as well, and you'll get a little bit of money knocked off thanks to yours truly. You're welcome. And don't forget, we have a 5 PM UK time live stream every Friday. It's all about the beer and the chat and the banter and the gossip and everything. Just a great way to kick off the weekend. Usually lasts about an hour, as I say, 5 PM UK time. I'm usually calling it the beer o'clock live stream or something like that. Great way to kick off the weekend, so I hope to see a lot of you there. And with that, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and why not give me a like while you're at it. So that's it for now, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe, above all, stay sane, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time around. Bye for now, folks.